Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the UnderHeat Wrestling Podcast. I'm Donovan,
I'm Aiden.
and today we're going to be talking about an intro basically of what this channel is about, what got us into wrestling and stuff like that. Yeah,
So first things first, one of the first things we should talk about is what is this channel? Oh, one, I don't know if you can tell, it's a wrestling podcast. We're gonna talk about wrestling weekly. At least once a week there will be a lengthy, like hour-long podcast episode where we just talk about the stuff that happened during the week and stuff like that. And on our socials like TikTok or Instagram, you can see some other things that we are doing to have fun. There's gonna be like daily uploads on there, so follow those if you're interested. There will also be YouTube Shorts on here. Um, Yeah, no, but other than that, look forward to our wrestling. We mainly talk about WWE, but if we pick up on news that happens outside of other companies, obviously we'll talk about it and stuff like that. But our main focus is WWE.
so what do you want to start off with first?
So I think first we should start off with what matches or what was your first match that you watched that got you into wrestling, or like what wrestlers got you into it?
Yeah, I would say it wasn't really a specific match. I would say like it was more of like a segment. It was the whole CM Punk versus like John Cena and like the whole pipe bomb stuff. That's what like really like got me into it. And it was like I guess it like showed like this sort of like realism to it, and like it was basically I don't know. The segment was just like so raw and just exciting that it really like got me like hooked into like wrestling as a whole. And at the time I was like little, and John Cena was my favorite wrestler, but I feel like the older like I got, I just like sort of more leaned into like CM Punk more. So yeah.
Yeah, so mine was actually is actually quite way much more different than yours. My first ever thing that I watched was Undertaker versus Mankind in Hell in a Cell. And like when after I first watched that match, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy is so cool!" Like he went through like he fell off the steel cage, he got thrown off, he went through it, and then went through tacks. I was like, "Oh my fucking god, this dude is a legend!" So like after that, I started watching it, and then roughly right around the time I started picking up and getting into wrestling mainly is right when CM Punk did drop the pipe bomb,
Yeah.
and like Nikki Bella was still there, AJ Lee was still there, and then like right after they left, and I got the first major moment I could potentially remember is right when the Shield split up.
Yeah, I remember that. That was so heartbreaking.
Well, because like at the time I was like I didn't know wrestling. I thought it was just at the time when I first started it was just matches that people throw on just to do crazy shit, and then once I saw like the story development behind everything, and I just fell in love because I love a good story.
Yeah. I feel like it was really my brother that got me into it because like he would like watch wrestling all the time. I would just like see it, and so like one day I just decided to like sit down and just watch it with him, and then that's when like I would say like I really started to fall in love with it, and like we used to do like wrestling matches and stuff like that. He had all the belts. He even had the John Cena CD when he was like little, because he came up like during like the whole ruthless aggression era and stuff like that.
See, I wish I grew up watching like Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, because like now when I go back and watch, I was like, this is like the most coolest version of wrestling we ever had. Like the PG era, don't get me wrong, is not bad, and we're moving into the Renaissance era, which is I love everything about. But like old wrestling is just was so much better than modern wrestling at the moment for me.
Yeah, I agree. Cause I feel like now you can't really like do some of the stuff that they used to do like back in the day. It's more modern now, and yeah, I feel like older wrestling like there was just something about it that just made it like exciting, like and like you wanted to like watch it. And like don't get me wrong, like the new era is still good. Like there are some segments in like the new era that I'm just
The,
like,
the
whoa.
Renaissance is 100 times better than like PG era.
Yeah, yeah. The Renaissance era, like there's like some segments that's just like what we had before in like the PG era, and especially like in like the whole 2018 era where it was just like complete
The Diva
garbage. Yeah, it was just
era.
like complete garbage. It's just like a fresh new upgrade from like what we had before.
Yeah, so like watching modern wrestling, I as a kid it is great, but like growing up, I understand. Like I went to like I think WrestleMania 34. I was like, this is like the coolest card ever, and then now I'm like, that card was so shit.
Exactly. Like it was just like everything that they were supposed to do right, they did completely wrong. Like I forgot who was all on that card. Was it like Asuka and
The
Charlotte?
only thing I remember from that card was John Cena and the Undertaker.
Yeah, that was like the only part I remember because everything else was just so like
Oh, and then
ass.
I think it was Roman versus Brock again for the Universal
Oh
title, and I just
yeah,
left like
that was
halfway through the
horrible.
match.
Yeah, that was horrible. Like watching back is just like, what is this? Like, what am I watching right now?
No, watching modern like PG era wrestling when like especially when Roman Reigns was the underdog was a really tough time. But like as a kid or a young fan, you're not gonna like think otherwise of it. It's like, oh, he's like the badass guy. Everyone loves him. So like,
Yeah, I feel like his character has like evolved so much from like what it was before because like before, yeah, as a kid I was like this dude is cool, but as I grew up and started like watching like his character like the whole big dog stuff, I'm just like this is like ass. I could see why people booed this man because this is like you have to see him every single week and then he get title shot after title shot after title shot. I'm just like, bro, get him off my screen. Like the tribal chief character that he has now, like it's more watchable and like it's just like ooh, like I just love like what he's doing with the character.
I genuinely love the tribal chief gimmick. It's one of the I think the greatest gimmick in like this time period of wrestling at the moment.
Yeah,
It's I don't even think it's close.
yeah,
But him him back in the PG era, I didn't really care for. Like
yeah.
to him, he was just a really annoying character that WWE was just trying to like shove down our throats. And then at the time, you had like Seth Rollins who was doing the authority thing, which is
Mhm.
so good. And then Dean Ambrose was doing his own thing, and like I cared more about Dean Ambrose than any one of them.
Yeah, I feel like during that whole like authority era, like the stuff that I really paid attention to was like the whole Seth Rollins, and then you had Randy Orton, and then you had John Cena. I feel like that like segment like really stuck to like my mind because like I kind of forgot everything else besides like the whole like John Cena US Open Challenge. That was like a pretty good segment. And then you had the whole like stuff with Sting, and then you had the Survivor Series match with Team Authority versus Team Cena, and you had
Dolph
Dolph
Ziggler.
Ziggler clutching at the end. That was like the greatest like moment in wrestling like that I've ever seen. That was crazy.
So now moving on, we're gonna go to what was your favorite wrestler when you first started watching, and what's your favorite wrestler like now?
My favorite wrestler when I first started watching was obviously like John Cena because I was like a kid and he was like very big at the time and like he was just like so connected with like the younger audience and like everybody like my age around that time just like absolutely just like love John Cena. But I would say my current favorite wrestler, I would have to say Trick Williams from NXT. I don't know why, but like the whole whoop that trick era and like him like his like charismatic character is just like I don't know.
I
It's
thought you were either gonna say Trick Williams or Carmelo Hayes.
yeah. I really like Carmelo Hayes. Like
I figured you liked
yeah.
Carmelo Hayes a lot.
Yeah, I feel like his whole like match series with like Andrade is just like banger after banger. Like if you just put them in a match card, it's just like it's gonna be fire every time. I just wish that like they would like give him like more opportunities. I honestly want to see him win a mid card title in his current main roster run.
I think he's going to win it here soon. I don't think they're gonna wait a much longer. I think once either LA Knight is done with Shinsuke Nakamura,
Yeah.
or he either beats him or loses, Carmelo Hayes is next in line.
Speaking of Shinsuke, he's doing like I don't like ever since he came back, it's just that like I don't know what it is, but like he's doing some really good work right now. Like
His
before,
music is I don't. His music didn't need to change, but the change was not bad. Like it was
Yeah,
so
I
good.
feel like it fits his character because his whole like dark evil persona, and like I like the work he was doing like before, like it wasn't like the best. It was meh, but like what he's doing right now, I feel like it's like way better than what like he was doing before with like the whole like Cody Rhodes and like coming out and attacking people. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty good.
So back when I first started watching wrestling, my favorite wrestler was Sheamus. I
That's a good
I
pick.
I
That's a good
I
pick.
saw him with that mohawk, and I was like, "This is the most coolest thing ever." And then I still have a lot of respect for Sheamus. He's still on like my top 10 favorite.
Yeah,
You know, 'cause, like everything he's done for WWE and like the amount of stuff he's like contributed is
yeah,
insane. Like he's done basically everything.
yeah,
But nowadays my favorite wrestler, I don't know if it's as obvious as it should be, is Sami Zayn.
yeah.
Back
I
back
see that.
back when I watched NXT Black and Gold, when he did his match with Neville,
Yeah,
that was the first match I ever watched of NXT, and I fell in love with him right then and there.
yeah. I could see that. I feel like Sammy right now, like he's like I
I think he's
like
in the
him.
prime of his WWE
Yeah,
career.
I like him. I really like him. And like the work that he's doing with who is it? Dang, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, the bloodline and stuff like that, and like
The tip of my tongue. It's a
it's
whole
it's a
faction,
whole
man.
faction. And Drew McIntyre, like I'm really loving it right now.
Yeah, no. When it comes to the bloodline, this I genuinely think this is one of the most best stories in all of wrestling.
Yeah, because like you could like they could go like so many directions with it, especially with like the long term like storytelling. That's what I love about WWE is like their like way they incorporate long term storytelling and
I
like
like long-term storytelling, but at the same time, sometimes it can be really infuriating. Because, like, for instance, we have this situation with Cody Rhodes. Like, I think most people come to the understanding that he ain't losing the title
yeah,
until The Rock comes back.
yeah. I honestly thought he was gonna lose it to like Randy Orton and they were gonna go like the whole legacy like angle and like possibly Randy Orton reverting back to like '09 Randy Orton where he was just like an absolute menace just
He might go
kicking.
back to the fucking punt, bruh.
Yeah, I honestly want to see that. That would be like a really
If we get another Kevin Owens versus Randy match at WrestleMania, they need to do pile driver versus the punt.
yeah, that would be really cool. But yeah,
That should be the match that should be there.
yeah, I think that would be like a good way to like just like you got this absolute menace that was just going around almost killing everybody, kicking everybody in the head, and then now you got Kevin Owens just like giving people power drivers, injuring them, and just like sending them home for a little bit. But yeah,
All right, so next question is what is your favorite match?
my favorite match. Ooh, that's a. Oh man, I'm trying to think. Uh,
I got mine. It happened like just a couple years ago.
yeah, you go first. I need some time. I need some time to think.
Mine is actually the main event, I think, of WrestleMania 40, night one, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
It's the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Not only was the story like so good leading up to it, but you can just tell the in-ring chemistry that all four of them had with each other.
yeah,
That match was phenomenal, and I don't think I've seen a better tag match than that.
yeah,
I mean, the New Day and the Usos have put up some great matches, but that match, for some reason, whenever I think tag team, that's the first match that pops in my brain.
yeah, for sure. Um, I don't know. I feel like
Another one that used to be mine was Shawn Michaels and Undertaker.
yes, that was like one of them that just popped up in my head. I feel like my favorite match is probably like I would say like any like tag team, all like the tag team ladder matches with the Hardys and Edge and Christian and the Dudleys.
Dudley Boys, yeah.
I watched those back and I'm just like, man, this is just like it's just like them doing like the most extreme stuff, like jumping off of ladders, crashing through tables, like spearing each other off, like him hanging off the title belt. Like dog, that was just I don't know. It was just exciting just to see like all this like crazy stuff and just watching it back and Dog, it's just so cool.
So actually, speaking about the current tag division in WWE, what are your like opinions on it? I don't. I'm glad that the factions are no longer holding the tag
Yeah.
titles.
Um, I don't know. I feel like it's it has its moments. Like it could be pretty exciting, and then it could be pretty dry. Like there's not really many tag teams that catch my eye. I would probably say like the one that I like the most is probably the Street Profits with Montez Ford and I forgot his name. Yeah, but I really like that
Angelo
tag
Dawkins.
team. Yeah, Angelo Dawkins. I really like that team. Yeah, I don't think there's really any like tag teams that really like catch my eye like that on Raw. I'll probably say shoot, probably the War Raiders. The War Raiders are pretty good. I like them. But yeah, mm, I feel like the tag team division's
I
been
was I was so happy when DIY got the titles and then they lost it. It was
yeah,
so sad. And then Motor City Machine Gun came to WWE. I was like, holy fuck! I was not seeing that happening.
yeah,
And then they won the tag titles, but like WWE's tag division has always been one of those like weaker points.
yeah,
Like they just they have so many tag teams. Like I think is it Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson
yeah,
signed with WWE right now?
yeah. They are.
Where are they at? Like they've done nothing.
I have no idea. It's just
Like
like
you have Pretty Deadly, which was really good in NXT.
yeah,
Like that match they did with the New Day when they were the NXT champions.
yeah. That was really awesome.
I loved that match. Like there's so many like good tag teams that just don't get the spotlight because in the past 3-4 years they've just been on factions.
Yeah, I feel like in tag teams in like NXT, like they just do like so well, but like when they come to like the main roster, I feel like they don't really know how to like book them as well as they did in like NXT.
It's the same thing with the women's tag division. Like they
Yeah,
just throw a couple women together and they're like, oh, it's a team now, and then they go to win it. But like, I'm not knocking it off. Like it's a great division. I'm glad that they have it. But like,
yeah,
it's not really well developed, I should say.
yeah. I just wish that like instead of like having the women's tag titles like go to like both shows, I feel like they should do like the how the male division does it, where they split the tag titles into like onto like two different
There isn't
shows.
enough women on the roster to do a full like two titles for tag,
Yeah,
and then mid
fair.
cards and like a main championship for both brands.
Yeah, that's fair.
But speaking about the women's division, what do you think about the Chelsea Green becoming United States champion?
I think it was great. Like, I feel like if she didn't win the United States Championship, like, I don't know. I feel like it wasn't just. I feel like they were just like. I feel like it was just gonna be a waste of time at that point. So I feel like putting the title on her really like I guess like solidified it is the word I'm looking for. But yeah, I honestly think it's pretty awesome that she won the title, and I think for the intercontinental women's intercontinental championship, I think they should put it on Dakota Kai. I really feel like they should put it on Dakota Kai.
I think Dakota Kai is the favorite to win unless Io Sky gets
Yeah,
into the match. Um, but going back to Chelsea Green winning, to me it made the most sense. She was the most deserving
yeah,
wrestler in that tournament. You could just tell by the matches she puts on, like especially going back to the ladder match, like the Money in the Bank.
yeah,
Like it was so good, and like I've never had a bad time watching one of her matches. I always enjoy them.
yeah. I really enjoy them too. I feel like the whole like rivalry with like Michin is like really made it like exciting, like the match between them and like the dumpster, and then that leading up to them being in like the women's United States Championship match. I feel like that made it more like exciting to watch, basically.
Now, me, one thing that I did say the only thing I wish I could change about her winning is that Piper Niven, like after the match, turned heel
Yeah,
on her.
yeah,
I think that would have been like really great. Like the moment she wins it, she like turns heel.
yeah,
I like I've had my dad who I was discussing with at the time. We were like he was like I would like to see Tiffany cash in like as soon as she wins it. So like she actually won it for the first time,
yeah,
but it had the shortest reign.
yeah. That would
Like
be,
that would be so Chelsea Green.
yeah. I feel like it would kind of be like the Austin Theory effect, where I'm pretty sure he cashed in on the United States Championship and then he
Yes,
won it.
Rollins.
Yeah, I feel like it would
No,
kind
he
of.
didn't win it. He lost.
Oh yeah, I forgot he lost. Like that honestly just made no sense for him to cash in on a mid card title and then lose.
The whole Austin Theory push just came out of nowhere. It was like Roman Reigns 2.0.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what made like everybody just like not like him, and I feel like the whole Austin Theory thing is just I don't know what they're doing with him right now. I just mm,
Him and Grayson Waller teamed up, and I like the tag team, but they originally were gonna turn either Grayson or Austin on each other, and then that never happened.
yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing right now because like we barely been seeing them on TV, and then we're just now seeing them on TV. Like
Oh, didn't we just see them last night?
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like we're just now seeing them on TV now, and like I'm just like, so when's the whole like Austin or I mean Grayson Waller turning on Theory story coming? Or are they just not doing it? Or are they putting it on
I
delay? I
think
don't know what they're
I think
doing.
that's one of those that's scrapped.
Yeah,
I don't think it turned out well,
yeah,
but that's generally everything we're gonna talk about on the first episode. I think more coming up on the second episode. There's gonna be a lot more like discussions going on.
yeah,
This is more or less to get our general opinions on modern wrestling, or not modern wrestling, but like what's happening nowadays, and just get you guys to know us
yeah,
in particular. See, I think I watch the most wrestling out of the two of us. I watch WWE, TNA, and I sometimes occasionally watch AEW.
yeah. I want to get into like other wrestling like promotions, but it's just like there's just like so much to just watch and like so much to catch up on, like what's
Most
happening
most
here.
things I just find online. I'll read about it, or like I'll watch like clips and videos of it,
Yeah,
because I don't have the time to sit there and watch every single promotion
yeah, I
for
get it.
wrestling.
Yeah,
But look forward to more videos in the future where we're going to be doing like our opinions, our reviews, our expectations of like what happened in pay-per-views, like upcoming Royal Rumble. We're probably gonna do a video of like our prediction of like every entrant in the Royal Rumble.
yep,
For the men and women's, our predictions for the match, who's gonna win and stuff like that, and then afterwards, our just a general review of like every match that happened during the Royal Rumble.
nope,
Um, then another thing we're probably gonna start doing is stuff in like W2K24. That's just like as a side like series if you're ever interested. And if you're interested in other things outside of wrestling, you know we do have our own channels that we do other games other than just wrestling games. But I think the first series we're gonna probably do here, other than the podcast, is a the My GM mode on W2K.
yeah, that would be really fun.
So if you're interested in that, make sure you drop a follow. So stuff will start coming up sooner. We're gonna release a video at least once a week on our just long talk, and then everything else afterwards, our playlists and stuff like that, our games for wrestling will be in a different category. So if you're ever interested, please drop a follow, and make sure you drop follow our social medias where we post other content for wrestling. So yeah, thank you for watching and enjoy.